We have the first game of the Enter the Storm qualifier number 2 in North America, and it is Stellar Lotus going up against Team eLevate. So we have right now to the left side Stellar Lotus with Nightmare on Khaldor, Toe General on Uther. We have Yoda, one of the Koreans, on ETC, Wiz on Zagara, and Wuje on the Lost Vikings. To the right side of the map, as you can see, it is currently Team eLevate with Boss Floss on Tyrael, Bartix on Brightwing, we have Hakfu on Sylvanas, Nespa on Sonya, and Killig is playing Jaina. Wuje is actually making me smile a bit because I'm pretty sure that that is his name, and that his name is like Jay Woo, so that's kind of funny. I was dating a girl there for a while, which her last name was Wu as well, and it's kind of funny when you think about it because it was like, and the crowd goes wild, woo! And it was like, who's saying my name? Who's saying my name? It was kind of funny. Some of the last names, it's not only about Korea, like in German, in any language, there are always like a couple of last names that are like really funny and that you can like toy around with and make some word jokes. But that shouldn't concern us here too much. We have the game starting, and stupid name jokes aside, we are already going straight for it. Nespa in the mid lane has experienced the entire wrath of Stellar Lotus and the first kill in the game. So yeah, that setup that we are currently seeing on the side of the eLevate is in a, well, it's basically like it's based on burst, right? I mean, you have two frontliners, you have the Tyrael, you have the Sonya, and what you're trying to do is just use, especially Sonya, together with Jaina to burst down a target as fast as you can. Up to the top lane, we're now seeing Wuje on the Vikings, and for the Vikings in general, the idea is to just soak all 3 lanes and allow the rest of the team to rotate around as much as possible. And that's currently exactly what they're trying to do. They even get a second kill against Sonya. Poor Sonya, already getting completely taken apart here. It's a double kill against her. That's a bit unfortunate. Huh? Like, she's the punching bag of the team. The game is only 1 minute old and already the punching bag right there. I mean, in this case, we're currently looking at the first night falling and seats taken all over the map. We have Yoda and Wiz and Nightmare moving straight in to steal a few of the right side away. And I have to say that Stellar Lotus is actually starting off with a very solid performance here. They get their first seats, so do, of course, the heroes on the side of Team eLevate. When it comes to the talents, there is mostly what you would expect. I mean, we are seeing on the side of ETC rolling like a stone. You could argue that as a solo tank in the game, he might have gone for Proc Rock instead to just give a bit of that heal out there too. And we're having now a fight over the next one. Barbed Shot has been taken. It's a bit more popular on the North American server than it is on the European server. Barbed Shot can of course help to burst these things down and get those seeds even a bit faster. They're already starting to jump in again. We have the Vikings soaking every lane, and Wuje is doing a pretty decent job at that, and that's the most important part. And another kill. 3 kills already, and maybe Nespa is going to fall. No, this time Sonya is able to escape. So we have Stellar Lotus with nearly a level lead here. Most importantly of all, they also have now, well, actually they lost the Viking at the bot lane where Boss Floss and Tyrael was trying to take one down. So Eric already died. It's not really so much the kill against Eric that is a problem, but that he loses out on the experience at the bot lane right now. And Tyrael, of course, soaks that. So you can really see how that gap in experience is starting to close slightly again. And the Viking player will have to make sure that he just seals, needs to get as much as possible. For now, they're already jumping in again with a kill against Sonya. That's the 3rd kill against her already. Hakfu is about to die as well. Nice job here by Wuje. Really well played. Having 5 kills against 0.75. And another planned attack. Now, for the team around Stellar Lotus, this is really, really nice. They have nearly the entire seed count that they need for the first plant, and they will even get more than that. So they deny so many seeds to the opponent and will already set up for a very good second night. Up to the top lane, Wuje is still playing versus Bashix, and in this case, he is also, of course, making sure that Brightwing cannot really get that experience lead for the team. I really like Brightwing as a choice against a Viking team. It's filling maybe the same role, I'd say, as Falstad, where you try to soak on the opposite lane on the map, and you will make sure that the Vikings don't snowball too hard when it comes to experience. But at this point, it's actually already a little bit too late for them to really have a huge impact. I mean, they're doing a very nice job here. The earlier level 7, we have now level 6 also taken, and down to the bot lane, we have Boss Floss and Nespa again, just barely escaping. Now with the talents in general, I mean, even if you don't, even if you do for prog rock, oftentimes you see the double neck guitar. This is like the full utility build. We've seen it actually a couple of times already today. It's always the choice if you need the extra heal or if you don't. But if you are going for full stuns and you just want to get the utility of ETC's ability, then you usually add both of it. Rolling like a stone and double neck guitar, they combo extremely well together. With the level 7 talents, we're seeing now also ferocious healing. And again, the move in ETC with a great move. Yoda at the front with perfect timing. And they take down Tyrael. Really well played. The explosion hits Kalthas though, and he's being chased and he's being eliminated. As we are seeing Sonya taking not only Kalthas down, but also going straight in for Chojamnul. And down goes Uther. Great play here. eLevate is starting, I don't want to call it a comeback, but they're starting to make some plays here. The problem for them is that WuJie at the top lane was using all of that time in the space that was created to just use the plant and move in to take down not only the wall, but maybe even the fort. And that's really amazing. If as a Viking player you're able to control the plant and you still soak 3 lanes, that's exactly where it's at. Then you know that you are in a very good spot. So right now we have WuJie in position in the mid lane with Olaf. The plant is still ready, so they can maybe take down another tower in the mid lane as the bot lane is being pushed by the rest of the team. And the strategy here is already showing. Let the Vikings soak the lanes, let the plant roam to the top, to the middle, and the rest of the team just goes full ham on the bot lane, and they are so far ahead already. I mean, they have an entire level lead. It's 6 kills against 3. They have the heroic abilities. And Kalthas hasn't even hit his level 13 power spike yet. So this is a very nice play on the side of Stellar Lotus. And eLevate, who were in the finals yesterday, they are really starting to have a pretty tough time here. They need the level 10s, then they can start to move in again. But just look how fast the experience builds up now for Stellar Lotus. They are now nearly 2 levels ahead already. And it's time for eLevate to really think about soaking these lanes. Once they get a bit ahead though, if they gain some momentum by winning a team fight, just to give you one example, they will be able to use that Sylvanas to really do a ton of damage there and also take down structures, of course. So that snowball, like the momentum that they can build up, possibility of it is definitely a given. So we have now with them, hitting level 10, a situation in the game where we could definitely see them in a spot where they start to take some team fights, because it's important for them to utilize that Wailing Arrow. The silence is great. Sonya is going to have so much more fun with the Wrath of the Berserker, and let's not forget about the Ring of Frost. If you hit that spot on, then you are in a very, very good spot, and that's exactly what they're currently trying to do. Up to the top lane, we have Boss Floss and Nespa just sniping one of the small camps away. But keep in mind that they were already a bit behind when it came to the seed count. And at the top, they will be able to get one plant. The problem for them is that it's going to be a plant versus plant battle once again, since Stellar Lotus has been able to move down to the bot lane and take this one. So right now we're seeing another seed plant taken. There could be a rotation from eLevate, but it's not going to be fast enough to really do anything here. So, yep, there we have it. We have a plant versus a plant, and a nice surplus. Actually, like nearly the same amount of seeds that we see for both of the teams. It's pretty close. But just look at the bot lane. I've mentioned it during the draft. WuJie with the Mercenary Law talent level 4 on his Viking can just like focus these so hard. He can take most of them on his own. Sonya again taken out. He's really the punching ball of the team at this point. WuJie is just using the Mercenary Law talent that he has to take camps on the map and also then push with them and make them even stronger, buff them a little bit as they push in. And this is just absolutely incredible how much damage he can dish out with that against the structures. They're playing an incredible game. I'm loving this setup that we're seeing here from Stellar Lotus. A really nice game. 7 kills against 3.25. And the move into the mid lane right now. Here we go. We have WuJie again on the Vikings, and guess what he's doing with the rest? He soaks experience up at the top at the same time and moves in at the bot lane even with another Viking. The 13 talents drop the chain bomb into their hands as well. And we also have at the same time now for them the Shrink Ray as an ability. We see Showstopper, Mutalisk, and also Jump being used. So this is another thing that they can now bring into their team fight, having just that slight lead with talents and the strength of it. And they are trying to use that with a kill against Hakfu, but they don't get Sylvanas yet. Has to move away. Experience-wise, they are falling farther and farther behind though. We see down to the bot lane, the Vikings still pushing in at the top lane, a very similar picture, and WuJie is just taking so much experience for the team right now. We have everyone else just forcing that keep in the mid lane, well, not down, but at least it loses hit points, and they're rotating up again, and the increase in experience for them is incredible. And of course, with their move to the top, they also create more time and more space for the Viking player at the bot lane. Wuji actually moved back with the Viking because he wasn't quite sure what exactly eLevate would be doing. Would they be following to the top lane and try to defend, or would they send someone down to the bottom to really take him down? That's why he's just now moving in again. Very smart play by him. I like it. He's really all over the place at this point. Level 13 is going to hit pretty soon, but he's pushing the mid lane right now. He's putting pressure on there. He's at the bot lane as well. I have to admit that I am absolutely, I'm a fan. I am a fan. Like, he is doing an incredible job. His team is helping him a lot by creating space on the map. So it's not only about the Viking players, how you synergize that with the rest of your team setup. And they are doing an incredible job here. But enough fanboying, let's take a look at what exactly eLevate is going to do here. They're level 13 now, and that at least helps them. They have for now the Pixie Dust talent taken for Brightwing. Brightwing, by the way, went into the damage on level 4 with the Unstable Anomaly. Oftentimes we see either Peekaboo, or if you don't take Peekaboo, then at least one of the Pixie Dust talents. Their issue is that they have the level 16 talent on the side of Stellar Lotus against them, and Stellar Lotus has taken Benediction. We see also the increased speed for movements here with the Speed Metal, the Arcane Barrier. Wuji is finally losing another Viking. He's jumping away, and he's actually safe. Wow. He's not losing a Viking. Scratch that. But now we have 13 versus 16 talents. He went into the large and charge. Look at that. Not Impatience is a Virtue. But into a different talent instead for the extra stun on Olaf. We have also here a big fight happening as Wiz is attacked, uses the Maw to isolate 2, gets the Divine Shield as well, and still dishes the damage in. Very well done here with the Sanctification, but Sonya is dead again, and Tyrael is also about to die. He drops, and this is just incredible play on the side of Stellar Lotus. They lose the Gara, but they trade 2 versus 1, and they still have the Vikings on the lanes. Look at these Siege Giants already buffed in the mid lane. There's Wuji again. He's putting pressure onto the keep. And now with all this pressure on all of the lanes, the Knight has fallen again, and there is of course seeds on the map. Yes, Balog will die, but who cares? They are already going for the first camps. We have them everywhere in position to claim these. And up to the top lane, the Siege Giants are still in play. They're actually chasing the Vikings. Vikings are rotating over again. This guy is amazing. Right now, we have once more a plant attacked, and just look at that seed count that we're seeing here. They will get they will easily get another plant. Of course, eLevate will get one too, but we still have a situation where they are the ones who dictate what happens on the map. The entire pace of the game is dictated by them now. And what eLevate has to hope for is the later part of the match when they really have the 16 versus 16 talents, and then it's time for them to force fights. And that's also then the time when they can make a comeback happen, for sure. Both of the teams now, again with the seed count. We have still level 16 talents on the side of Stellar Lotus, none though for Team eLevate, and they have an opportunity now to maybe get that talent, force a team fight, and start to turn things around, because that is really what they need to do here. Again, of course, the plant is going to be taken by Wuji. We have at the same time now down to the bot lane, Killik. He's trying to defend those lanes. It's all about like D-push. That's really the most important part here on the side of eLevate. Make sure that they have a bit of space to breathe. They need some room here. And we have now the Greater Polymorph level 16. They finally have those talents with a Cold Embrace. It's actually a little bit surprising to me that with Cold Embrace taken on 16, well, not really. I mean, you can go into the cooldown reduction on your Shadow Dagger on level 1 with a Lost Soul, but Barb Shot on this map in particular is still a very solid talent if you want to go for a few of these camps on your own. So that's still completely fine. You still want to have that burst potential on level 16, and especially with the Greater Polymorph, that's exactly what they have right now. They are also using the Northern Exposure, and that definitely helps too. So strong talents on 16 with even more sustain now coming in. But again, the lane's being pushed, and down to the bot lane we have also a mercenary camp. Wuji has to follow that up though with his Viking, which is exactly what it does, and this camp is going to do a whole lot of work. That is really difficult now for Team eLevate to handle. They need to win a team fight, and they know it too. But they are pushed by the Vikings on 2 of the lanes already. And as we have plant versus plant, it doesn't even matter that the rest of the Vikings are at the top and at the bottom. It's still the exact same amount of bodies in the fight here, because one hero was committed to the plant on the side of Team eLevate as well. So once again, we have the Vikings pushing through at the bot lane. The first tower is down, the second one is gonna fall. The Vikings pushing in at the top lane, the same thing happening. They are on level 19.5 and they just delay that fight for as long as they can. Stellar Lotus is buying time, and that's exactly what they have to do. Why rush into a battle that you can only lose even if you win it? Just buy time and make sure that you have a win-win situation with the Vikings pushing 2 lanes at the same time. They drop the keep at the bot lane. There was already a lot of pressure executed towards the wall, but now also the well is about to fall. Up here, Boss Floss is extremely low in his Tyrael. The Viking player has in the meantime pushed the top lane too, and this drops level 20 into their laps, and that's of course now a 3-level lead on top of everything else. Ragnarok and Roll has been chosen, a triple bolt of the storm, and here comes the attack against Hakfu. This game, to sum it up, the bottom line is this is basically a tutorial. I'm not even casting a tournament here, I'm showing you a tutorial, guys. This is how to play the Vikings 2.0, including the positioning of your team and how your team should move on the map to make it possible. Really, really well done. So right now we have the mid keep already eliminated. The keep at the bot lane, guess what? It's going to fall here. The Vikings are once again helping those 2 siege giants out to drop it. And they have those talents that they can now use to just rotate again to the top lane and eliminate the last one. eLevate is basically caught between a rock and a hard place throughout the entire game here. They're really trying. I mean, they are trying to win this, and they're putting up a nice effort. They just can't control the Vikings. That's their biggest problem here. The map is so big that the Vikings are perfect here, and they can't control them at all, and that is the biggest problem that they have right now. So we have once again a defense happening up at the top. By now the Vikings are already going for the seeds while the fight is happening. Wuche is basically saying like, well, what should I do now? The keeps in the mid lane and the bot lane are already down. I guess I'm gonna go for mercenary camps and I get a few seeds for my team. This is of course also a great map for the Vikings. I mean, this like the size of the map really caters towards their needs. You can't just like be so far away from the other team. Killick is rushing away here, and so he should, having again a few of the seats taken. And like the worst case scenario at this point for eLevate is that there might be a plan for Stellar Lotus with not a single plant ready for them, and that would be nightmare scenario. I mean, the map got changed, in case if you don't know that, but the pot that can be dropped by your plant does now also disable the opponent's core. And that makes this extremely scary, because if you end up in a scenario plant versus no plant, guess what's going to happen? Yeah, indeed. They're just simply going to move in, drop the pot, and go straight for the core. And they will have a plant. It's exactly what's going to happen here. We have a plant plus a surplus of 30 seeds against 90, and that doesn't do anything. I would even be a bit surprised if they would even go for the keep. I don't think they have to. I don't think there's a single reason to go for the keep. I think with the setup that you have here, you can just like simply move straight into the mid lane and try to drop it. You still have level 20 talents versus level 19. You have a plant, they don't. You can disable the core. Why would you waste your time going for the top keep? I mean, I guess if you want to play it super safe, then you can do that, and it looks very much like they might. But at this point, I say a move into the mid lane is not going to be wasted here at all. But they split. They move into the mid lane and the top lane. They rotate up to the top. They can try and burst that down. They play it extremely safe here and just say, okay, with 3 keeps gone, they won't be able to win. And they can, of course, use the pot for disable. That's what they do. They move in here, and they're going to get this one easily. We're 17 minutes in already. And yeah, that is not looking good for eLevate. Oh, the attack already as Yoda moves in, but this time he's a little bit too slow. And Wuche is there again with a nice seed. Well done here by him. They go for Sonya and they go for Tyrael. Sanctification has been dropped. The Divine Shield keeps Sagara alive. More on the backline, and here comes the mosh pit. Let him dance, baby. Brightwing has been caught as well. Tyrael is the hottest guy on the floor once again, of course. I mean, he has the moves, but it doesn't help him. 2 heroes are already down, and even though Stellar Lotus is extremely low and might use Toe Gem Earl up at the top. Nah, he heals himself. They can win this easily. What a match, and this was just really well played. Great game by Stellar Lotus. Congratulations. They move on to the next round of the End of the Storm. GG. And that is it, everybody. GG and well played. the game's over, and therefore also the video for today here on KhaldorTV. We had another great Heroes of the Storm match, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Also hope that you enjoyed the commentary, of course. So thank you very much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to KhaldorTV yet, you should definitely hit that sub button as well. If you have some friends that like Heroes of the Storm, then definitely make sure that you show them the channel and also the video. There's a lot more where that came from. We're going to have like continuous content throughout the next few weeks with more Heroes of the Storm matches played, not only on the European server, but also on the North American server, in tournaments, in leagues, and more than that. So guys, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun. It was a pleasure casting for you. And I'm going to see you next time with even more videos here on the channel. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.